to mid-April. Last year it was cold longer, so we were pushed back to about the last week of March before the bluebonnets bloom. Okay. This year has been a bit unpredictable, so we don't know when they're gonna bloom.
I checked the weather forecast, and it said that it's gonna, like a cold front's gonna come in that next week, and there's like possible thunderstorms that weekend. So I'm just hoping that we can have an inside option just in case. And in case it's cold, because like for our wedding, we had a cold front and it was like freezing.
It was very cold. Yeah. Did y'all do it in March as well?
Ours was on March 7th. So,
the beginning of March.
Huge ice storm.
Yes, it can be really cold during that time.
Right. So this is normally bluebonnet?
Yeah, so all these little green tufts here all the way out are bluebonnets. So this field is full of them. And so yeah, if not, it'll be just green like this.
Okay.
The bluebonnets will be a bit bigger tufts of green. So if nothing else, you'll be right at that like spring is almost springing feel, which is nice.
Right. Okay.
And then it puts them up on the mound here to get married.
Okay.
Bridal party and green here, they go back here to the side.
Okay.
And a nice wide aisle to come down. I've had people also, especially if the flowers aren't out, I've had them angle it so that they're actually getting married either with the tree or the woods in the background.
Okay.
And then I've also had people get married in the round out here, which I think is nice because it puts everyone right around you, and then you just walk in to the center of the circle.
Yeah, that's neat. Okay, cool.
And I've also had brides that do not want to have to walk down an aisle, so they'll just get married like right at the front of the trees with the barn behind them, or something where you can just pop out and get married and move on with it.
Okay, cool. Did you get the little mound, Kurt?
I did.
Cool.
And then pretty much anywhere out here that you can be a ceremony spot. So say it was one of those cold days, if you wanted an indoor option, tenting can be done. You can do maybe 50 people seated in the barn for reception. But I think it's kind of nicer if you have the option, especially on like a rain day, to do ceremony in the barn and then reception under a tent and dancing in the just off of it.
Right. And do you guys rent the heaters here, or those would need to be rented?
We have one that we'll include with each barn, and then we have 3 that you can rent for you to place around.
Okay, cool.
These little warm spots. Plus, each one has the fire pit, so that's we have all the wood.
Oh,
that you
cool.
need and have a fun little hangout around the fire.
Oh,
Roast some
neat.
s'mores if you want to.
Yeah, that's an idea. Cool. James might want to roast a fillet.
Oh, that's beautiful. The good thing about that is in the colder time, it is in the sunnier area.
Okay, cool.
Later in the day, that's going to be a bit more in the sun.
Okay, and is there a price difference in what time of day they do the wedding?
From 9 to 11 until they can do anything they want within that time.
Okay,
10 o'clock is quiet time. It gives the last hours of the meeting to go off.
Okay. Yeah, I think she's talking about doing the ceremony at 5 and then...
That's a good time. Most of ours, I'd say, are between 4 and 5:30. That way you have, the later you do it, the less time you have to cut the cake, do the dancing, eat the dinner, all
Right,
that.
Exactly.
This is another spot that's been really popular, is having them right at the front of the trees. And then all the guests are sitting under the shadiness of these trees.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll walk in from the bridal suite, so it's that really pretty picture of her coming down in their dress and walking in.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's a very popular spot. And it's just very intimate. It feels very...
Yeah.
Plus, then she can come by the cactus and have her Texas sea on them.
Yeah.
What kind of grass is this?
I know.
Winter rye.
It's pretty.
He
I
plants
love
it
it.
thick and mows it often, so it stays nice.
Yeah.
So in the summer they plant a different one?
Yes, and I'm not as good with that as far as what kind that is.
Well, that was
Chris
what I
could
was so
probably tell me,
worried about, because I was telling her, like, gosh, if it's winter, like, the grass isn't going to be green. Like, all these pictures, you look at all these places, like, it looks lush in the pictures, but what if it's all dead, you know? So that's good.
We
that
pride
it's
ourselves on being beautiful year-round.
Watch out for that.
It looks like this in January. Springtime is just like extra sparkly.
Right.
If you did anything starting to get their leaves back, you know, the lilacs only lose half their leaves. But once spring hits, there will be twice as many leaves on them. And then things like the peach tree and the elms will get their leaves back as well.
Cool.
And then the butterfly garden that's off here will be starting all the blooms with the roses and other things we have planted out here.
Okay.
So that's where the hummingbirds and butterflies and all that like to hang out and get fun pictures with.
Awesome.
And then the bridal suite is just off of it, so it's something that's really nice to be able to, while you're getting ready, like have the beauty of the bridal suite off of there.
yeah. Okay.
This is that same mound in June whenever it's Indian blanket season.
Oh, wow. That's that's beautiful. And you guys y'all provide that?
We don't. They brought this in. Honestly,
Okay.
I've had a lot of brides go to home Goodwill and find arches,
Okay.
especially now that wedding season will be starting up. People are getting rid of that stuff like right after their wedding.
Right, gotcha.
But then also there's places that rent those, and then you can Amazon them, and they just kind of stick together. They come in a box, and you just
Okay.
and you can stake in the ground to secure it. You can do shepherd's hooks down the aisle if you want to. It's
Okay.
totally fine.
Cool. Oh, this is cute. There's all the dried flowers and stuff.
And we're going to do some little changes in here. We're thinking about changing out the wood blinds for something that lets more sun in when you close it. Because the natural light's great for when you're getting ready for the day, and you don't want your makeup looking bad when you get out there.
Right, exactly.
So we've got little, January's our like improvements time
Right.
while we're in our down season. So we're working on little things.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, nice picture spots. And with this one, the restroom's just off here to the left. There's one restroom. We're adding a second one in October, so by March it'll still just be the one. But with 50-75, one turns into 20 for everybody. And they're so outdoorsy. We've got the twinkle lights in them, so it's lit by the same lights as everywhere else.
Okay.
And then we'll provide all the paper products, toilet paper and soap. You're not having to come out with that.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yard games are very popular, especially at this barn.
Yeah, I saw in the video they had
a cornhole.
yeah, I
and
couldn't think of the name
we've
of
had
it.
washers, horseshoes. There's actually horseshoe pits down over there. Giant Jenga.
Oh, cool.
We've had whole football games go on here. If you want to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Little kitchen box. Yeah, that's a good little photo opportunity. I love the barn. Those barns have tons of picture spots. This one has two. Lots of like those long shots.
Yeah.
These old windows, there's star jasmine growing between those, so when spring hits, they'll have those light balloons.
Okay.
And then there's seed all in these mulch beds too, so the flowers are just like, this is January, so it's pretty barren, but
Right.
it's nice when the flowers start coming up through all of it.
Okay.
So there'll also be a lot more cottage plants. We love to put them out. It's hard to so we're working on green fencing all the way around so that we can have more roses. Right. But that's good. They finally
Well, they can jump super high.
yes. And we don't want to have like big deer fencing. Right. But up here is where the parking starts, and then it runs all the way down to the gate and then around.
Okay.
With that guest outside, most people will be in this area, and any overflow, they can walk down this path so they're not having to walk all the way around.
Okay.
Yard games can go out here in this area as well.
Okay.
Especially for bocce ball or croquet if people ever need that ground. And then we're food truck friendly, so your food truck can park over there by the line of plants.
I'm so about the food trucks.
Pretty fun.
We thought about it at the last minute for ours because we had our caterer like kind of canceled last minute, and we had to find one like. Yeah, and we were like panicking, but it turned out fine. I mean, our food ended up being great, but we like talked about food trucks.
Did y'all get married in the area?
We got married in Spring Branch at the lodge.
Okay.
Which a food truck probably wouldn't have made it. It was so hard to get there.
Yeah, we've had even the big food trucks like Eastside King have been down here and they fit fine down the road.
So where's the closest city for people to do lodging? Tile or?
Tile's pretty close. Buda is actually even a little closer because they can go down 967 in front of the Salt Lick and get straight into Buda. And that Cabela's exit there has a ton of chain hotels.
Okay, cool.
So if that's the kind of, especially if people are coming up I-35, that's a good spot.
I think a lot more people are going to be coming like from Austin, you know,
Austin,
than San Antonio.
So South Austin's got a ton of places to stay. And then there's always Wimberley, which has bed and breakfast galore.
Right.
And I think it's nice, if you're having a hill country wedding, it gives the guests that feel.
Right, yeah.
They're out there on the river, and they're able to just kind of shop and eat good food and take it easy. They're a winery.
Yeah, we're going to go to Wimberley today after we leave church, so we'll probably scope some places out.
Awesome, there's so many
Have
bed
you
and
been
breakfasts.
since they've had the huge flood and everything? Have they,
Yes.
like, recovered pretty well?
They have. There's been a lot of benefits going on for them. They've raised a ton of money to help out. There's definitely a lot of work that still needs to be done. As you drive down the bridge, you'll see that There's still just like all that debris that after
Right.
flood. But they're rebuilding and they're doing good. And luckily with the wedding couple